Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shanique Bell and Shanique Beckford. My name is Shanique Beckford. If you're watching this video for the first time, I just want to say welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, welcome just the same. If you haven't subscribed as yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on, make sure you turn that thumbs up button blue or gray, thumbs up this video, and definitely comment down below. Okay, so today I'm just gonna share with you a quick story time. Right, so a couple of years ago, long time ago, um, not so long ago, but long ago, I remember I was a Christian, like I've always been a Christian, I think. As a child growing up, I grew up in church every Sunday. I had to go to church where you know that little shoes, that little heel shoes with the socks that you would break over with the thing, the frills around it. That's how long I've been going to church. But I grew up in church, Sunday school, the whole 9 years relating to church. And when I started high school, I remember I I was very, I wouldn't say very, but I was curious about some things. And upon finishing high school, there are certain things I never got involved in because, as I said, I got baptized at, I think, 14. I got baptized at 14. While I was younger than 14, my mom did not, well, I don't remember, but I don't think they wanted me to get baptized so early because maybe they thought I wasn't sure of what I was doing. But I've always knew that I was going to be a pastor. As a child coming up, I always say I'm going to be a detective and a pastor. There was always this call upon my life to church. When I got bigger, I never wanted to be a pastor. I was okay with just traveling all over the country and preaching at crusades and all these things. But I never necessarily wanted to be a pastor per se by that point. But I remember around say 18 years old, them time that I broke out. I was going to church, I was singing on the choir, but listen, your girl was breaking out of her shell. I remember there was once I think my cousin and I, we went to Kingston and would never tell our parents where we were going. Or we hid out and we went all the way to Kingston. Imagine, I was from country. If anybody watching from Clarendon, Spaldings, that's where I was from. Imagine, we left out of our house, told our parents we were going to X, Y, and Z, and we ended up going to Kingston. Go look for man. So we went to Kingston. I had a little boyfriend in Kingston, and I went up there and I liked the whole vibe. So I was like a country girl coming from country going to Kingston. I mean, I've been to Kingston before a couple of times, but no, I was not going with my mom. I was with my cousin, and so I had the opportunity and the ability to, explore and see places and things I've never seen before. And so here I was with a boyfriend, and I like the vibes. The vibes was good. The whole Kingston vibes, and you can get to go out and you go to your party. Not party, but like gospel events, concerts, and stuff like that. And the guy was I'm not gonna tell you now, because some of you are probably going to know who, so I'm not going to say. But anyways, I went to Kingston. I liked it. The vibe was good. I liked it. I came back to country. We tell the mommy said we go something like I don't know, library or something of the sort. But some line was stolen. But anyways, Anyways, after all of that, I remember I wanted to go back to Kingston because I liked the life that was there, and so I went back again. So the next time I went back, man, telling them, I ended up doing some things that I should not have done. I did it. I did it. So I ended up having sex and out of marriage because I wasn't married at the time. Ended up having sex, and when I came back to my mom's house afterwards, I was still going to church. I was still singing on the choir. And this goes to say that there are many people out there who are Christians who are involved in doing some things that they should not do. But anyways, the whole point of this video is to let you know that it doesn't matter what you did, it doesn't matter how involved you were or what you are doing, what you were doing or what you are doing. If there's a call of God on your life and you intend to turn around, once God has called you, it doesn't matter what you do, He will still use you and He still loves you. You're never too messed up or never too far from God for Him to use you, to carry out His will. So here I am, come back to mommy's house after doing stuff, and I remember like I think it was coming up to a month, or maybe I think a month passed, and I never had a monthly cycle, and I thought I was pregnant. So here I was sitting at home thinking that, my God, no, this is it. Mark you, I was still singing on the choir. I was still going to church doing all these things. And here I was thinking I was pregnant. So I remember one night, I was there and I was fretting, I was panicking, I was having anxiety attacks. And I started to think about it because I was living with my mom and my great grandfather. If anybody watching, and you know my great grandfather, Tamara, you know what I'm talking about? That man never played. Like he does not play any at all. So here I am thinking, okay, I'm pregnant. I didn't know because mommy going to kill me and grandpa gonna kill me. So with all the thoughts going through my head, I started to say to my mom, you know what? I think I missed my period and I think I'm pregnant. And like just straight up. And she was very upset. And the first thing she did, grandpa was out in the living room watching TV, and the first thing she did was call my aunt. And when she called my aunt was saying, guess what? I think it was maybe after 6 that night, or I think it was after 6 or so that night, going to 7. And when she called my aunt was saying, I'm coming around to your house and I go kill you, I go pop you up. And she was going in on me and she was saying, I'm getting ready and I'm coming. And the only thing I'm thinking, if I live with just my mom and she was coming, that would be fine because she was probably just saying a bunch of stuff and she wasn't going to do anything. But the fact that grandpa was there, I was more concerned about grandpa because grandpa really don't play. Grandpa would have killed me. Anyways, my aunt was on the phone and she was saying, I'm coming round to your house now. I put on my clothes and I come in. I kill me, I go kill you. How you feel make this happen to you? How this for reach you? And I'm like, guess what? I thought I was pregnant. And so I packed my bags and I said, I'm leaving. I prefer to leave than let grandpa beat me. Because listen, if grandpa beat you, who child? Grandpa beating them never used to nice at all. Like, if when grandpa used to beat me, I'm telling unos, it never used to pretty. And so, anyways, I packed some clothes in a bag and I decided I'm leaving. And mommy was saying, where you going? And blah, blah, blah. And she was trying to get me to stay. And I was saying, no, I'm leaving, grandpa. I'm not going to find out. And she wasn't about to tell grandpa. I mean, she would have probably found a different way for us to tell him or work it out, considering I was pregnant. I thought I was. I convinced myself I was. and my aunt was coming, so I was getting ready to leave because I'm saying my aunt is not going to come around there to catch me. I'm leaving. You would think my mom would be more ready to kill me, but my aunt was coming to really, really kill me. My mom was so upset. But anyways, I packed my bag and I left that night. I just slipped over the house and I just, this is the fastest I ever run. Because I think when I was leaving out, the grandpa was probably, I don't know, in another room or something. And I slipped through the door and I just ran. So when I got into the town to get a bus to go to Kingston, I couldn't even get a bus. The man never even knew I was coming to his house. But all I know is I never spoke to him about, hey, I'm moving in. Hey, I'm coming or nothing. I just said, listen, I was so fool. Gosh, I was so stupid. It's the worst mistake I've ever made in my entire life. Anyways, here I am in Mandeville trying to get a bus to Kingston. There was no bus. Eventually, a bus came because I intended I was not going back home because I was not going to let my grandfather kill me. Anyways, I got to Kingston late in the night. My mommy was crying, like my mom was crying. Mommy, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. I was young, I was stupid, I was naive. If you want to beat me, you still can beat me. If you want to just come and slap me or whatever, may I tell you, you can just come do it now. Because I can't believe I put you through all of this. I'm willing to take a beating right now. For all that I put you through. I made my mommy cry. Anyways, I went to Kingston. The man was shocked I came to the house because I never told him I was coming. But anyways, I went there. Guys, after being at the man house, after going through so much, couple days, only to find out that my monthly menstrual came. I'm never pregnant. I made my mommy cry. I left my house with my clothes, bag, pan, and everything, scandal bag. I was never pregnant. So, anyways, here I am living in Kingston now with man, and I was a Christian. And okay, I'm gone 10 minutes. I'm watching the time. So I'm living in Kingston now, and I was not pregnant, and I decided after all this said and done, I mean, I'm already here. I mean, I love Kingston. Kingston life nice. Why would I go back to the country? And I think the thing that made it so bad was because then I was in the process of going into the police force. I did my test. I passed my test. I did my interview back then. We had to do 2 interviews. I did both interviews. I passed it. I was just getting ready to I was waiting for a call, I think, to do my fitness. And I was basically getting ready to go into the police force. And everybody was so happy and proud for me because I did very well in everything that I've been doing in all my former years. I was doing exceptionally well. And so I think that's what made them very disappointed or very hurt, even though I was not. But anyways, the fact that I wasn't pregnant, I stayed in Kingston because I felt that Kingston life was nice and I had more opportunities here maybe. Anyways, I was there for a little while, and after being there for quite some time, I ended up getting pregnant. So the first time I wasn't, but the second time around, bam, big belly pushing down. So I got pregnant, and things made a turn for the worse when I got pregnant, and I ended up having to come back to the country to my mom and my grandfather's house. When I came back, I was pregnant, big belly and all these things, and I felt so bad. Grandpa was not talking to me, and I remember I think the first words he exchanged to me. I met him at the back of the house, and he said, "I chop me for chop you up, you know." Grandpa met me at the back. I was at the back catching some water, and he came around there and he looked at me and he said, "I chop me for chop you up, you know." And since then, we just started talking again, and he loved me. I mean, the baby came, and he loves his great grandchild, his great grandchild. He loves that child like crazy. And while I was pregnant, he came around and he supported me. He loved me. He really loved me. And so things worked out. But the point I want to share with you is while I was pregnant, I never, and I can't remember going to church. I don't think I went to church. I think maybe I did. I don't remember. But obviously, I wasn't singing on the choir anymore. I know a lot of people that got pregnant in church. There's some churches that put you at the back bench. I never went through that because I never went that much because me did shame. Um, I I mean, I had sex, I got pregnant, but deep down within, I still loved God, and so I stopped going for a while because I was very sick. I was admitted in the hospital 3 times for a while. I was constantly in and out of the hospitals. I was throwing up like crazy. But I never really experienced church people like bashing me and putting me at the back bench and saying the meanest of things because I never was around. Maybe they did say it, but not for me to hear. I mean, I think there was one case where there was a church sister from my grandpa's church that was speaking poorly of me being pregnant at such a young age, and then in like I think a year or 2 years after her daughter became pregnant. So this is why never put your mouth on people's children when you have children, because the same thing somebody's child or children may do, your child may end up doing the same thing. Always pray for people's children. When you have a child, always be careful how you treat somebody else's child, because you never may know what may happen to your child. So I never experienced, like, the severe thing that some of the persons go through where they're put to the back bench or they have to come up and apologize to the church. There are churches that I've seen that if somebody got pregnant or something, they had to come up and apologize in front of the church, and they put to the back bench and all these things. I never experienced that, but people did have a lot to say. But all in all, after I had the baby, I went straight back to church. The baby was so small. I went back to church. I got baptized for the second time. And after I got baptized the second time, I decided that I was never going to go back. I was never going to get messed up in the foolishness again. But the whole point for sharing this story time is to let you know that some of you may have had children out of wedlock. um you're no longer with the baby's father. You can still get married to somebody else. Some of you may used to smoke, drink, get high. Some of you may have committed murder. Oh yes, some of you have done some very bad things, some ungodly things, but God still loves you. You can never be too far from God. Some whenever you sin, you feel like, I'm not going back to church because I'm not worth going to church. I'm so messed up. When you're messed up, that's all the more reason to go to church, to talk to God, so He can forgive you and He can restore you. So I want you to know, after all that I've been through in my past, I've done some things I'm not so proud of. There are a lot of things I didn't get involved in as normal teenagers or young adults to get involved in, because I spent the majority of, well, all my years in church. The one time I come out, I got caught. I never had the opportunity of doing a lot of things like some people did, because I love church and I love God. But after all the things that I did end up doing, there was still a call on my life, and God still loved and intended to use me. Now, a couple of years later, what, 8, 9 years later, I think I'm now the pastor at a church in Montego Bay, and God has been doing a wonderful thing. It doesn't matter how much you've messed up, how far you have wandered from God. If you allow God to use you, if you recommit yourself to Him, if you resurrender your heart to Him, trust me, God will use you and He will lift you up. You're never too far from God. People may say things about you as a Christian. People may look down on you. Churches may do things that you think, I don't understand how this church will treat me this way. And a lot of people say that they endure and they encounter going through church hurt. I can only just imagine. I've never experienced, well, I've never really experienced church hurt before until sometime last year. I had an encounter. But some of the things that some of you guys say that you go through in church is very sad to hear. But despite all of that, there's never a good enough reason for you to stop going to church. There's never a good enough reason for God not to use you. As I said, once you recommit your life to God, He can use you. Some of you have been raped. Some of you have gone into prostitution. Some of you have gone into drugs, scamming. You name all the things that is out there that you guys do. God still loves you and He'll still use you. He'll turn your life around. You may be in the prison. You may be behind bars. And you come out and you feel like your life is a mess and a wreck and you've wasted your years. God can still use you, and He still intends to use you. So I just wanted to share my testimony of how I messed up, got pregnant in the church, but still God still turned around. It's not what they say, it's what God says. So I just wanted to use my testimony, my story, to encourage you that greater is ahead and greater is within you than he that is in the world. Greater is within you than the mistakes that you have made. You're still loved by God. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys were blessed or you enjoyed the story time, I want you to comment down below. I want you to share this video with someone. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like this video. Share with everybody. God bless you guys, and thanks so much for watching.